Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. Today is going to be a very important show, and in this video, we are going to give you a very important, dire warning about the iPhone X and the latest conspiracy theories surrounding that new spying device. Let's start off with the latest trinket that will enslave you and the rest of humanity that you're paying over $1,000 for. And that, of course, is the new iPhone X that was released yesterday. And I don't know about you, but watching the commercials for this are eerily creepy and reminiscent of A Brave New World 1984 Orwellian society. With advanced facial recognition features that you could unlock your phone with, pay with devices, and they're selling this to you because you could make custom emojis. And for freaks' sakes, the larger implications between this new feature being rolled out to everyone are very frightening if you look at the surrounding information that we're about to get into.
Uses extraordinary depth-sensing technology to let you unlock your phone with a glance. We call this faceID. It maps the unique geometry of your face with over 30,000 invisible dots. This data is analyzed by the neural engine on the A11 Bionic chip, the first of its kind. Your iPhone now recognizes you, even in the dark, and will adapt to your physical changes. This makes your face your secure password.
Yeah, just a secure password that will be probably given out to the CIA, NSA, and any other government agency that wants to squash dissent or any critical thinking that goes against the status quo, most likely. And just to be fair and honest with you here, I'm not that optimistic about this new technology.
But hey, it's totally worth it because I get to send very meaningful emojis with my face.
Or cross.
And I'm sorry to all the tech enthusiasts out there, but this Big Brother biometric Orwellian database freaks me out. And it freaks me out for a very specific reason, because it is normalizing facial scanning, a system which even Edward Snowden points out could be abused, especially since it's been revealed that the government is spying on you through your iPhone. It's been well documented. Now, it's important to note, Apple has resisted the government sometimes they complied. But regardless of all of that, the NSA has specific spyware that gives the agency full access to your iPhone, which means that they have a full unregulated access to all the information with anyone using this phone, which is the majority of Americans. First, it started off with your fingerprint, and you can bet your top dollar now the government has a whole bunch of fingerprints linked to your identity. Now it's going to be facial recognition, and what's next? DNA samples, blood samples, or just shove the iPhone directly up your buttocks for a full rectal exam, why don't you? Now, I know I'm exaggerating and being over the top here, but who the hell knows with how technology is advancing and how government's been acting that, you just may... And boom! You opened your iPhone. Custom rectum emojis. I'm being sensational here, but there is a lot to worry about, especially with the latest news that just happened in Turkey, where tens of thousands of Turkish citizens were detained or dismissed from their jobs because they downloaded an encrypting message app. Technological human rights violations are happening right in front of our eyes, and we would be naive to trust these authorities with even more power. After the failed coup in Turkey, a commissioned study found out that about 75,000 suspects were arrested primarily because they downloaded the Buy-like app, and they used metadata from people's phones in order to track them and to put them in jail. The same metadata used by the NSA here in this country that they always make arguments saying, well, it's just metadata, it's nothing serious. Well, it is, and it is something to think about, because technologically speaking, people were arrested for just metaphorically locking their front door and using encryption so their personal messages wouldn't get out there to the world. And now with advancing facial recognition technology, even a mask won't hide you from the latest technology out there, where now facial recognition software can see through your masks or any disguises. And this is where it gets even creepier, because a Stanford University professor just conducted research that shows how artificial intelligence could be used to detect whether people are gay or straight, their IQs, or whether they are predispositioned to criminal behavior. Literal thought crime. Now just imagine that type of technology in the hands of someone like the president of Turkey, Erdogan. And there's major progress being made on these types of technologies, and it's being made quicker than we think. Microsoft has already unveiled a beta tool on its website that is able to guess people's emotions through facial recognition software. Facebook has already conducted studies where they manipulated people's emotions in a newsfeed experiment. An experiment done on unsuspecting users that they emotionally manipulated and either tried to make them really happy or really sad. And I don't know about you, but for me, this is naturally where people should begin to get worried, especially with the potential of not only a government and corporation knowing everything about you, having your fingerprint, having your facial recognition data, but also the ability to control our emotions. This is a whole new level of a dystopian future, and giving that authority to corporations and government should be a red flag automatically, since, you know, corporations and government don't usually have the best track record of doing the right thing. Now let's talk about this for a second, because there's a basic psychological tool behind marketing that is very relevant to this discussion. In marketing, if you're able to make people feel sad or fearful that they're lacking something or that they're insufficient, you are more likely to get a sale than if you would otherwise. Even media companies understand that when you're able to invoke rage and anger and fear from people, people share media more because of those emotions that are invoked through people than if they did not. Now, hypothetically speaking, what would a corporation that is beholden to its stockholders and to its profit do when they have these possible abilities? Well, I think the answer is pretty clear. And it's not just that hypothetical we have to worry about. We also have to worry about police officers that could use the latest iPhone's facial recognition feature to unlock your cell phone without a warrant, which is extremely worrying for the countless numbers of people in this country who are unlawfully detained and illegally searched. Speaking from experience, I personally had my footage destroyed and deleted by police officers when they falsely arrested me and accused me of a crime, which would have been proven with, of course, the video of me recording actually what happened that they deleted. So this is a very personal issue to me, and it's something we should all be aware of. And now, to be fair to Apple and of course you, the audience, it's important to note here that the new iPhone X Face ID also has a panic disable mode where you could quickly disable face recognition. Android actually released lower tech similar features with facial recognition years ago on their devices. And it's important to note here, technological advancements could be used both for the good and the bad. But when they're in the hands of multinational monopoly corporations, whether Android or iPhone, with of course government influence and coercion, it's best to side with skepticism and not open arms, actually financing the biometric Orwellian police state that's encroaching you from all sides. And naturally, I would tell you to vote with your dollar and not support these companies, but as we're learning, it's becoming more and more difficult with the monopolies they set up and practically no competition outside of Android and Apple. So yeah, see you guys in an underground bunker fighting the technocracy that, you know, just has your fingerprints, facial recognition, probably even a rectal scan probe too soon, as they're able to spy on every one of your single moves. Even if you hide your face in public, they'll still be able to track you with their new facial recognition technology and social media algorithms that control your emotions. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think this is a legitimate issue that I brought up, or do you not worry about it? Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to donate to us on wearechange.org/donate, because unlike the majority of all these other media institutions, there's no corporation or government controlling us. Only your donations, only you, the viewer. I love you guys. Thank you again so much for watching.